welcome you, our curious listener, to a deep dive into a really fascinating world. We're talking earth sciences, geology, fossils, gems.
Minerals, jewelry, lapidary arts, mining, rock collecting,
Yeah,
the whole shebang.
exactly. And today we're taking a shortcut, sort of, to getting you well informed about a vibrant community that brings all this together, the Columbia Gem and Mineral Society, or CGMS.
We spent quite a bit of time digging through years of their Rocky Trails newsletters and other supporting documents. It was actually quite a treasure trove.
So our mission here is to pull out the most important nuggets of knowledge.
And maybe some surprising facts about what makes this nonprofit educational organization tick. It's quite the group.
Think of this as your exclusive backstage pass. You get a peek into their world of discovery, everything from hands-on workshops
Where they turn rough rocks into polished gems, yeah.
to incredible field trips and that dazzling annual show they put on.
Now, just a quick but really crucial note for you, our listener. Since we are drawing from many, many years of Rocky Trails,
Right.
some of the historical information, especially things like specific contacts or maybe older locations for meetings and workshops, well, that stuff might be outdated.
Absolutely. So for the most current, accurate details on everything, CGMS meetings, events, how to join, you really need to visit their official website.
That's www.cgms.rocks. Seriously, make that your first stop for the latest info.
Okay, so let's unpack this. How does a community like this even start?
Well, like any great club, it begins at the core, right? Their monthly meetings. And these gatherings are really the heartbeat of CGMS. They clearly reinforce its mission as a nonprofit educational organization.
Yeah, you can really see that focus on education.
What truly stand out, though, is the sheer breadth of topics and the speakers they've featured over the years. It's impressive.
It's not just one niche interest, is it?
Not at all. It's the full spectrum of earth sciences. It fosters learning across so many different fields, you know?
Which must be great, allowing, seasoned geologists to connect with people who are just curious, all in the same place.
Precisely. That cross-disciplinary thing really works for them.
And looking back, the variety is incredible. Even back in 2014, they had Philip Jones, a photographer for SC Wildlife,
Sharing his insights.
and Herman Koenig demonstrating wire wrapping, that delicate art.
Right. But then, for those who like to get hands-on, the programming really shines.
Oh, yeah. Like in 2015, Michael Miller taught flint knapping.
Yeah, replicating prehistoric stone tools, covering things like percussion and pressure flaking for arrowheads, knives. Really intricate work.
And Teresa Polly from Jewelry TV, she did an introduction to Gem ID.
Teaching how to use the tools of the trade. Microscopes, loops, refractometers.
What does a refractometer do again?
It measures how light bends as it passes through a gem. It's a key identifier. And spectroscopes, they analyze the light absorption. Helps tell natural from lab-created stones apart.
Fascinating. And more recently.
Well, Ron Alady did a presentation on Utah rock art with his own photography. Looked beautiful.
And Kim Cochran talked about Antarctic geology and fossils. Wow.
Ron Koenig shared stories about crystals he found right here in South Carolina.
Local finds, too. And Abby Gates did a hands-on thing with Edisto beach fossils, bringing actual specimens.
Yeah, for members to examine up close. Very cool.
And they're already planning for 2025.
Oh, yeah. Programs lined up include Cindy Lee on shells, a silent auction, a cabochon tutorial.
Remind me, cabochon is?
That's shaping and polishing a stone into that smooth, rounded, domed top. You know, no facets.
Got it. So Conry Davis and Gary Hurt are doing that, plus Ron Clamp on granite and Carol Elliott on crystal and resin art.
Quite a lineup. But this dedication isn't just in the topics, it's also in how they adapt, like with their meeting locations.
That's a really good point. They were at the McKissick Museum at USC for 50 years.
50 years. The newsletters even had detailed parking instructions and elevator access notes.
But then, the pandemic changed things for a lot of groups.
Exactly. Since COVID, they've had to be flexible, meeting in alternative spaces like Grecian Gardens or Hope Church.
And that search for a stable spot continues, right?
It does. They're actively looking right now in Columbia and the surrounding areas for a permanent location.
Somewhere that can be a real home for meetings, lectures, and that all-important lapidary workshop.
Until they find that perfect spot, the meeting locations are announced each month in the Rocky Trails newsletter. So you definitely need to check that if you plan to attend.
Okay, so that workshop you mentioned, let's talk about that. For someone who wants to get their hand, sparkly, as you said.
Yes. The lapidary workshop is a huge draw. It's where members can really learn to turn rough rocks into something beautiful.
They get access to equipment.
Definitely. Things like slab saws for cutting rocks and those cabochon machines for shaping and polishing.
And it sounds like it's a real community effort keeping it running.
Oh, absolutely. The newsletters mention members like Gary Hurt putting new casters on machines, needing new blades, finding copper tubing for repairs.
Real practical, hands-on stuff.
Exactly. And it's not just rocks. Sue Schrader even taught a glass fusing class back in 2014, expanding the artistic side.
But the workshop itself has been on a bit of a journey, location-wise.
It really has. Back in 2014, it was temporarily closed while they were scouting new locations. Jim Cobb was checking out a building in Case,
And for our listeners, that's pronounced Casey, C-A-Y-C-E.
right, Casey, at 1900 Sunnyside Plaza.
And then later,
Around 2018, they were set up at 1601 Frank Street, also in Case. But by early 2019, that lease was ending.
so that led to needing temporary space.
Yes. They rented a climate-controlled storage unit at Ample Storage in West Columbia. It had electricity, so some lapidary work could actually continue there, which was great.
But the hunt for a permanent home is still on.
So very much on. In 2025, the board was discussing potential spots properties on Bluebird Lane, Dalton, even looking at office condos.
It really shows their commitment, doesn't it, to securing a stable place for crafting and learning?
It absolutely does. And this dedication to lapidary arts has some interesting local history, too. It's just a brief mention, but the author of a well-known book, The Handbook for Amateur Lapidary, actually lived right here in South Carolina.
No kidding.
Yeah, and he eventually donated his huge collection, including lapidary equipment he designed himself, to the University of South Carolina.
Wow. That adds some real context to why that workshop is so important to CGMS. It's part of a legacy.
Exactly. It underscores why finding that permanent home is such a priority for them.
Okay, so from the workshop to the field. For those listeners dreaming of finding treasures out in the wild,
Ah, the field trips. That's where the real adventure happens for many members.
they offer an incredible range, don't they? Gems, fossils, even gold panning.
They really do. And connecting it back, these trips aren't just about collecting, though that's fun. They're vital for understanding the local geology and paleontology firsthand.
Like hands-on learning you just can't get from a book.
Precisely. It grounds you in the natural world.
So give us some highlights. What kind of trips have they done?
Well, for gem and mineral folks, back in 2015, they went to Cumberland Furnace, Tennessee. They were collecting slag.
Slag, like industrial byproduct.
Yeah, but this stuff is a colorful byproduct of iron making, and apparently it's easy to cut and polish into interesting pieces.
Huh, cool. What else?
Trips to Jackson's Crossroads Amethyst Mine in Georgia. Probst Farm in North Carolina looking for rubies and sapphires. They noted the rubies there often have amazing UV fluorescence.
Ooh, glowing rocks.
Mm.
And closer to home.
The famous Diamond Hill Mine in Abbeville, South Carolina. That's a frequent spot for finding various gems like quartz crystals and amethyst.
Nice. What about fossil hunting?
They've organized trips to the Durham mines in Georgia for Pennsylvanian age plant fossils. Things like lycopods, ancient tree-like plants, giant horsetails, seed ferns.
Like stepping back hundreds of millions of years.
Pretty much. And in South Carolina, they've explored the Harleyville Formation for fossil shark teeth, marine mammal bones, things like that.
Shark teeth are always popular.
Always. Recent newsletters also mention trips to Ross Creek, Tennessee for more plant fossils, and even talk about collecting petrified wood along the Great Peedy River.
And did you say gold?
Yep. For anyone with gold fever, they've had trips like one to Thermal City Gold Mine in North Carolina. You can pan for gold and learn about the state's mining history.
North Carolina had a gold rush.
Oh, yeah, back in the 1800s.
Yeah.
Places like Mecklenburg, Gold Hill, the Uwharrie River area. It was a big deal before California.
I never knew that. Any other geological spots?
Graves Mountain in Georgia is another key set they visit, known for diverse minerals, rutile, kyanite, lazulite, quartz crystals. Offers both surface collecting and digging.
Sounds amazing. But what about, the practical side? Safety, logistics, can kids go?
Good question. Safety is definitely paramount. Many trips do welcome children, often age 6 or older, but they emphasize strict adult supervision and proper safety gear, hard hats, eye protection, sturdy shoes.
Makes sense.
Pets, if allowed, must always be on a leash. And some sites, like Grays Mountain, have specific rules, like no children under 12 allowed on the mountain itself. So they tailor it to the location.
They seem really organized about it.
Very much so.
Okay, so all this activity, the meetings, the workshop, the field trips, it all leads up to one big event each year, right?
That's right. The grand finale, you could say. The Columbia Annual Gem and Mineral Show, held every November.
And this isn't just a small club event. It sounds like a major happening.
Oh, it is. It's the club's primary fundraising event,
Yeah.
and it's grown significantly. In recent years, they've had over 1,200 attendees.
1,200. That takes a massive amount of coordination.
Immense. It really highlights the community effort and the dedication of CGMS as, again, that nonprofit educational organization making outreach happen.
How do they even get the word out to that many people?
They pull out all the stops, billboards, ads, and local guides like Gardner Guide, Discover Columbia, Free Times, those bright yellow road signs you see popping up.
I think I've seen those.
Probably. And in the past, they've even had remote broadcasts from local TV stations like WIS, which gave attendance a huge boost.
Smart. Any other innovative ideas?
They discussed creating a show program with advertising space to help cover printing costs, always thinking about how to make it work.
And the show itself relies heavily on volunteers, I assume.
Absolutely crucial. Volunteers do everything. Setup involves unloading trailers, putting together display cases, setting up security cameras. It's a big job.
And running the booths during the show?
Yep. Those grab bag work days are a recurring thing in the newsletters. Members getting together to prepare all those mystery bags.
Always fun for kids and adults.
Totally. The geode booth is another huge draw. You'll see mentions of Gary Hurt carefully selecting the geodes, making sure the cutting saw is clean and ready to crack them open.
That big reveal when you crack a geode.
It never gets old. And they also host a dealer dinner, which helps build relationships between the club members and the 35-plus dealers who come from all over the country. Fosters that community feel.
So, if I or you, our listener, were to go to the show, what could we expect to see?
A dazzling array. You'll find rare and exotic jewelry, incredible ancient fossils, mineral specimens from literally all over the world.
Wow.
Plus, you can bring your own mystery rocks or fossils to the Mineral and Fossil ID tent. Get an expert opinion right there.
That's fantastic.
And of course, the hourly door prize drawings are always exciting. Recent grand prizes have included things like Schorl, that's black tourmaline, and even a huge amethyst cathedral geode.
An amethyst cathedral. Sign me up.
Right. And they really value their volunteers, too. There's a great incentive program.
Oh, yeah.
For every 4 hours of volunteer works at the show, their name goes into a drawing for a lapidary class scholarship.
A scholarship. To where?
To prestigious craft schools like William Holland or Wild Acres. It's a fantastic way to encourage participation and help members develop their skills further. Really reflects that educational mission again.
That is a great idea. Build skills right back into the club.
Exactly. It's a virtuous cycle.
Well, this has been quite the deep dive into the Columbia Gem and Mineral Society. It's amazing how much they do.
It really is. From the speakers and workshops to the field trips and that massive show, it's clearly a dynamic and welcoming hub.
For anyone curious about, well, all the things we listed, geology, fossils, gems,
The dedication to education, to community, and just the sheer joy of discovery, it really shines through in everything they do.
it truly embodies being a nonprofit educational organization. They're sharing knowledge, fostering critical thinking.
And promoting these fascinating sciences and arts.
So if you listening now are interested in any of this, earth sciences, geology, fossils, gems, minerals, jewelry, lapidary arts, mining, rock collecting.
Which covers a lot of ground.
It does. We really encourage you to get involved. CGMS holds those monthly meetings with great speakers and presentations.
And you are always welcome to just attend a meeting, see what it's like, and potentially join the club.
And definitely mark your calendars for November.
Yes, everyone is invited to the Columbia Annual Gem and Mineral Show. With over 1,200 attendees, it's a fantastic event to explore, learn, and connect.
Now, one last time, for all the latest up-to-date information, especially on meeting locations while they search for that permanent home, plus upcoming events and membership details.
Please remember to visit their website, www.cgms.rocks. That is your absolute best source for current information. Don't rely on old newsletters for logistics.
Couldn't stress that enough.
No.
www.cgms.rocks.
You know, as we've seen, every single rock, every fossil, every shimmering gem, it tells an incredible story, doesn't it? A story of immense time and unbelievable forces.
It really invites you to look closer, to wonder.
Which leads to a final thought.
What an unexpected story of the Earth might you uncover next, maybe even hiding in plain sight, right in your own backyard?